Tonight's essay is about English and the language arts. Now, I've been reading, I know, shocker. And the question arises as to, well, what happens if your sentence is entirely grammatical and yet apparently makes no sense, such as this from Norm Chomsky: colorless green ideas sleep furiously. Well, it's perfectly grammatical, of course, but it apparently makes no sense. But does it? Think of the connotations. Colorless, green. Well, if you can't perceive the green as a color, then you have to think of the concept of green. What does green invoke, if not spring? Fresh, new, growing. Okay, verdant, lush, come on, green, greenery. Okay, peace of the natural world. Okay, so green suddenly isn't meaningless when used as an adjective, in which case a green idea would be a fresh one, a new one that's growing. Okay, so ideas sleep. Well, you know, if you're bothered by a problem, sleep on it. Okay, and what does this actually mean? It means when you sleep, your subconscious mind might not necessarily sleep along with the conscious mind, hence dreams and so on. This is why we also say sleep on a decision you have to make, because your subconscious will be working it out while you are asleep, unaware, unconscious, kind of. Okay? So, sleeping furiously doesn't mean that your conscious mind isn't furious, but your subconscious is looking at these green ideas furiously, okay, while you dreamlessly sleep. So it may not be altogether as silly as a sentence as it may first appear. And then we have Jabberwocky from Lewis Carroll. I'm sure you've heard of it. 'Twas brillig in the slithy toast, did gyre and gimble in the wabe, all mimsy where the burrow grows, and the mole wraths outgrabe. Well, it isn't English, is it? Well, no, it isn't. However, you can tell certain words, such as outgrabe, happen to be verbs, sorry. We know that momras, like dormice, is actually a word, or red squirrel is actually momras, that is a noun. Was all mimsy? Well, mimsy would have to be an adjective. So while it's an English sentence, the words are entirely created. So it is an artistic work. So you must think in a creative style. So when something's mimsy, what does one think of? Flowers, perhaps. Lots of little scented flowers, perhaps. Mimsy. Gyring, well, swirling about, perhaps. Gimble, things leaping about. In other words, he's describing a swamp. You know, tries to travel through a swamp, and the kudzu's after you, whatever. If not the alligators. So he's giving you an artistic impression using words and sounds to make you think of perhaps a dank, dripping, swampish, marshy wood. something of this type. And it makes no obvious sense, but it does its job very well. Now the question arises, from my reading, there was the question, are your nouns capable of doing what your verbs say? Such as example, when you say, well, this book reads well. Books can't read. They're not animate objects. They can't read anything. And yet, a human reading the book may choose to describe the book as reading well, meaning that it holds a person's interest or is easy for a person to read it out loud to other persons, and it holds their interest. So as you can see, it isn't quite so straightforward as you might want to think. Yes, you can use nouns as verbs when you say, well, he trousered the money. What does that mean other than he put it in his pocket? He trousered it. You can't really say he panted his pocket. He panted the money. No. So you have to use another word. So you look up a synonym for pants, meaning slacks, which you also can't use for the same reason. So you say he trousered the money. Trousered his wallet. He put it back in his trousers. Naturally. That's what one does. Or when smoked a cigarette, well, it doesn't necessarily mean you smoked it. For all you know, you could have thrown it on the fire. Or he smoked that tin can. Well, we all know what he means, but it's a colloquialism. It's a connotation. We use the word smoked not to mean no, but as well. You have to understand. So when some professor says that Mendelssohn fudged something, well, didn't mean he turned it into chocolate candy, did he? No. He fudged. He lied a little bit. Or how about hedged? No, we didn't plant a line of shrubberies. No, we hedged. We sidled off to the bit trying to protect ourselves. Yes, so we hedged our bets. Just like we hedge our property. Put a hedge around it. Keep it safe. Connotations make the English language a non-inflected Indo-European language derived from several dialects of German. At least according to Blackadder it was. But you have to understand English is an acquisitive language which will hunt other languages down, attacking it in dark alleys and rifling its pockets for useful words, which will then appropriate it. Yes, English is a great language, but you have to be aware that it is a living language constantly being rewritten, but that doesn't give you an excuse to just write or speak or say whatever you wish. There still is grammar, and there still is proper spelling and punctuation. So be careful what you do with it. But still, within the confines, you can have a great deal of fun. So thank you for this visit with you, talking about artistic use of connotations. Like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any comments, please leave them. I'm suffering from a dearth of comments at the moment. Please make your contribution forthwith. Thank you. And please come again.